Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd at Bish's RV down here at the Cherokee group today getting a sneak peek. We're going to take a look through their laminated division and some of their toy hauler stuff. And I don't know if you're noticing in the background here, they have completely basically reinvented this product this year. They've gone through, drastically changed the overall look of it. I feel improved. They've really enhanced and updated a bunch of the floor plans, added some nice features like a lot of tank heaters pretty much across the board at this point. And like in the travel trailers, they've finally gone to true queen beds instead of the Shorty McShortpants Camp Queens. But we're gonna get to see quick looks at a bunch of these things today. And I'm going to chapter mark this video so that you can jump to your favorite little one and rewatch it a few times if you want. And as we go, I need to hear from you. I need to know which models really speak to you, which models you want me to try to get full walkthrough detail tours on. Naturally, I'll try to get as many as I can, but I can't get everything in their catalog. So if I can zero in on the 3, 4, 5, 10, whatever that you really want to see, that's what I'm going to try to do this year for you. And if you like how we help you see all this stuff early on and then keep you involved and let your voice guide the channel, hit that subscribe button. Let's get going because I got a lot of ground to cover and I should have brought my sunglasses. Now, I'm definitely not a voiceover specialist, so this is probably going to suck, but we're going to start with the trailers and work our way up through the family. They really imagined something right here if you're picking up what I'm putting down, but I'm not really mad at it. This is a great layout, and I love that there's different manufacturers making different versions of this. I think this actually debuted last year in their touring edition. I don't know that that ever took off, and I'm pretty sure it's just been kind of retired and absorbed into the standard Alpha Wolves. I love those headboard power pockets, the little hidden side pockets with, you know, households and USBs right by the bed. This floor plan does give us decent campsite windows wherever it can. And, you know, this one they went with a non-Murphy bed, which makes it a little bit longer, maybe a little bit heavier. But there's some folks that just don't want a Murphy bed. They just want a walk around front bed. And again, this year they went true queen bed, which I know a lot of folks have been looking for. Easy to miss power outlet up in that front corner. So that makes a handy little kind of appliance pocket sort of station right there. I'm really personally liking the new full look of these this year. The lighter, brighter color, both inside and out. I think the inside colors make the whole RV look a little bit nicer and a little bit bigger, but the lighter color outside, for me, I think it's going to be cooler in the hot summer sun, and I really like the extra little, you know, towel racks and stuff that they're putting in there. Now, this to me was interesting. They took their 26 RB Alpha Wolf and turned it into the 25, even though the size didn't really change. All they really did was move the entry door. Instead of the door being to the back of the camper, they brought it to the front. And this reminds me a lot of a floor plan I've seen in both Bullet and Sunset Trail. It gives you a huge rear bathroom with a nice camp kitchen that a lot of travel trailers just don't have anymore. You really essentially have effectively the same living room flipped around the other way. Awesome, super flattering, you know, shot of me reflecting off the windows there. All of these blade style lights that you're seeing, they're all obviously dimmable right here, which is very, very cool. They still have that walk-in pantry entertainment center. Again, they just kind of flip-flopped the living room on this layout. Last year, they added their central vac system. There's, I think, maybe at most a half dozen travel trailer brands that have a standard central vac. So keeping them clean is easy, especially because Alpha Wolf has never really done floor heating vents. But did you notice that slide out? It is no longer carpeted. Now you see the trim strip that goes along the front of it. Some folks are going to read that as a step-up slide in the sense of toe stubber. It's literally the exact same slide it always was. It just doesn't have that carpet flap hanging over the end of it that it used to. Now notice the bedroom cabinetry, they went a little darker right there to give it a little bit of a separation. I'm kind of curious what you think about that, but again, I'm personally super, super happy that they've gone to Team True Queen and they've gotten rid of the Shorty McShortpants little beds. You want a little bed? That's fine. They can do it. They still have a heated enclosed belly, by the way. They also upgraded their solar this year, just like their stick-built sisters. They now have, instead of a 100-watt panel, it's a 200-watt standard. And the charge controller, if you want to expand on that, you could go up to about 400, maybe 450 watts of factory solar before you really need to start getting a little more nasty and invasive. You know, you can call me Miss Jackson if you're nasty. Now, at a glance, this is the same floor plan you've seen from everybody 100 times. And the QBS, I think, stands for quad bunk plus slide. But the thing is, you can get this RV two different ways. First of all, I want to give them kudos for actually including a ladder to the upper bunk so you don't have to heave-ho throw the kids into the upper bunk, which is more of a normal thing. Little bit of a wide-angle lens there. I don't like that. It's the only way I could really showcase the space real fast. But I do like that little eat-and-go dinette that converts into a sleeper. But QBS may also stand for Queen Bed plus Slide, because you have the choice of building this either with private rear quad bunk or a second bedroom in the back. Now that bed's kind of shoved off in the corner. I'm not saying it's not like the same as the front bedroom, but this is a very, very rare instance of a true 2-bedroom capacity travel trailer. The entertainment center is definitely just a little bit of a neck wrecker. And I want to give them credit. They put a big windshield on the front of that to really open up the space and let in a lot of light. Now, moving from Alpha up to its fifth wheel sister, Arctic Wolf. This floor plan is a very, very popular one. They came out with it last year. One of the key clutch changes they made to this, though, is it used to be you had to turn those recliners to close the rear slides, and that's really annoying, and that really sucks. So they made it so that you don't have to, and they went with those maximum panoramic wraparound windows wherever they possibly could. The amount of light coming in with this newer, lighter decor, for me, it just worked really, really well. Now, this RV doesn't have a big kitchen, but I think it has just enough of a kitchen. It's also got that floating bench ottoman, so if you want to mostly just use the 2 chairs, you can. And have you noticed, they are not using any of the dollar store 4-inch fart fans. They've got the big Fajita Friday fume fighters all the way through this sucker. Now, they've had True Queen beds in their fifth wheels, thankfully, but I do really like their bedside power stands. And some of their north-south bed models like this, they're really good about giving you bonus closet space without an extra closet slide, which adds weight and cost and upkeep and 100 other things. So those are the smaller Arctic Wolves. Moving up to the bigger models right here. What this kind of is the redesign, I think, of the 3770 Arctic Wolf that existed previously. They're doing things now like on some of these fifth wheels, including the 3,000-pound rear towing hitches. In case you're curious what's next to the sink, which, by the way, their camp kitchen has a real sink with a drain. Why has that become so rare in the RV industry? Well, the sink is one of the best parts of a camp kitchen, and it's one of the first things that manufacturers want to cut out. I don't know, to save a buck? I hate it. Anyway, I want them to keep the sink right there. This thing feels like it has a toy hauler living room, but it has a private bedroom plus loft plus half bath back here. So this could either be an additional separate sleeping space, great if you've got a couple kids or even adult guests or anything like that, with a I think that might be a short queen bed below. I can't remember. Apologies. When I do my full videos, I'll check that. And our local teams can always get you extra details on any of these. But if you notice, from that bottom bed, you're staring straight across from the extra half bath there. Now, you see that remote control on the wall? This bathroom has the full big vent fan with the rain sensor, but you don't have to be 12-foot flippin' tall to reach it. And this layout maintains maximum campsite window coverage so that you get to enjoy your campsite. You don't have to stare at just the neighbors, because I don't think a lot of people typically prefer windows on the poop side of the camper, but it's just what you gotta do. Now, if you weren't aware, Arctic Wolf is just the fifth wheel version of an Alpha Wolf travel trailer where we started. So a lot of your features are going to be exactly the same. Just Arctic Wolf is just bigger and has more space to do more things. Now, this is what happens when my intrusive thoughts went. I don't know why I looked at that and I'm like, bite it. It was a mistake. It was an instant mistake, instant regret on my face right there, but you get the idea. They upgraded their sink hardware a little bit in their bathrooms of these as well. And I like that vertical print on that wall paneling. For me, it just, I don't know. I like the way that this room reads a little bit better. Now, again, this model does happen to be a north-south bed. They have lots of bed slide models, but what they were trying to do here is give you something with a lot of private space that wasn't the biggest, heaviest, most expensive sucker you've ever seen. But even here, their version of this giant, long front living room is still lighter, and I mean, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 less than some other versions of this I've seen. And I really like how they use this space. So the RV has an upper deck rear bedroom and full bathroom suite plus half bath on the main deck, and that created huge space in the belly that they really utilized, I think, in a smart, effective way to bring a lot of fun campsite patio function here. And I got a question. What you gonna do with all that junk? All that junk inside that trunk? I jumbled my own words. So this concept was originally kind of pioneered by the Jayco Northpoint, but I really like it. I like this kind of half twisted backwards front living room because I feel like it provides even more separation, clarity, and division of the living room versus the bedroom. And they really, really effectively used every inch of that nose cap to really give you maximum space up in there. I thought that was pretty slick. Now, you're on these bed slide Arctic Wolves, you're going to have dual airs. I can't imagine not having dual air on something this size. You're obviously staring straight across from a power televator. I will tell you, I have enhanced the speed of this footage a little bit just to kind of get through the day, but you get the idea. What's neat though is if you really are just having like a friends and family open kind of conversation space, you put that TV away and it opens right up, but the separation is there if you want it, and it's gone if you don't, which is kind of cool. I wanted to give you a quick second peek at a little bit of that televator just so that you can see this one is not a dual facing TV setup, which is what you get with a lot of these. I call them kind of backwards front livings. I do love that countertop extension though. If you kind of want to if you don't want people to barge in the front door and just march straight into your kitchen because you're cooking up a storm, it sort of gives you like a little bit of a corral space, like a little buffer, like, guys, give me some space, get back, I'm working here, you know. I'm also really curious, above the half bathroom, they have this like sort of pseudo mini loft shelf thing. I don't really want to call it a loft. What would you do with that? Now, what's cool is they do still have ventilation from this half bath. The big square portion of what I call that loft, I'm going to call that the fart chimney. It does still have the gas warfare exhaust fan to get anything out of that half bath there. Now, when we get into the upper deck of this, you'll find things like 72 by 80 king standard. Whenever you get a bed slide Arctic, you get a 72 by 80 king. If it's a north-south, it's a 60 by 80. What do you think of that slimmer profile fireplace, by the way? It provides the same amount of heat, but it eats up less cabinet space and allows for just that extra little pocket for socks, Crocs, and undies, maybe? I don't know. What do you think of these dual sink bathrooms in a big fifth wheel like this? It's not for me, but maybe, it doesn't have to be for me. I'm kind of curious to know what people think about that. Now, this RV not only has pretty solid headspace in that upper deck that I'll try to capture in my full videos, but you've also got stackable, capable washer-dryer prep in this, which is a really handy thing. The thing is here, what I did not expect was that it wasn't just Arctic and Alpha Wolf that went through a full redesign. Their cousins in the toy hauler division at Wolfpack have also gone through like a complete redesign from ground up, all new looks, new features, new floor plans. This is like Wolfpack 3.0 over here, doing things like adding just tons of glass on the campsite of the RV, really, leveraging a sliding patio door as an entry door. They've also removed a standard ramp patio tailgate system, but standard have included those drawbridge kind of cables right there. And the thing is, if you're out west where it's like desert hot country, a lot of people take the ramp tailgate stuff off and they only use that ramp door to load and unload stuff. So if you want the patio system, it's easily applied. It's not a really hard thing. I'm kind of curious what you think about that. Now, you see these crazy cool loungers? Those are not just there for display. Those come with the RV, and they can fold down into almost like a footstool. They can open up into a giant lay-down lounger if you want to sit on the patio in the flippin' sun. They can convert more into just a standard chair. It includes the chairs for that fold-down bar right there. So this is a smaller floor plan that still offers a huge loading space. It has an absolute minimal kitchen. Let's be real about that. This is not the kind of RV where you want to sit inside and cook all day. Probably not for you. But bathroom, nice and spacious, super tall. They have a weird short camper king bed in these. Basically, it's like 70 inches wide, but it's like 74 inches long. It looks almost square. You could absolutely put a longer bed in there if you were so inclined. Now, if you wanted to stretch out a little bit and if you use the force to knock down their decorative flag right there, that'll bring us over here to the 14.5. And that the second number in the Wolfpack model numbers, that denotes the garage length. So this says up to a 14.5 foot loading length. Now, the longer sidewall allowed for an absolutely ridiculously long awning. I don't even think it looks long enough there on camera. It's actually much, much larger for that. But the thing had a center arm support on it. And look at this. Like I was saying, if you just want to kick back and chill, you can. Now, before this guy's boss, he's one of the reps, before his boss sees this and yells at him, I asked him 3 times if he would be willing to demo that so that we could see how much space was on here. He was not slacking on the job. Actually, he was showing me around the product so that I could try to do a better job on this video for everybody. So let's give that little fella a hand right there. I'm going to call him Dude only because I don't remember his name overtly, because I'm terrible with names and I thought about it too long and I don't want to say it wrong. Again, something that's easily missed, this is a wide body product. When you move into Wolfpack, all Wolfpacks are wide body. So that's one of the major differences between like a Grey Wolf ramper camper and an actual Wolfpack toy hauler. I don't even think it needs a skylight there in the bathroom. It's so flippin' tall, I could do jumping jacks. My hands would barely hit the ceiling in these things. But look at that amazing window coverage in this bedroom. I absolutely love that. Anytime you can give me big windows like that, I'm always happy. It's not all about the trailers, though. They also have their new fifth wheel series, which this floor plan reminds me of like 2 or 3 of their previous floor plans kind of franken campered together, and that's a good thing because they were 3 of my favorite Wolfpack floor plans that are all merged together. But look at that garage door. They maintained that sliding patio system over here. And did you notice the additional stabilizers right by the tires so that when you get to your campsite, to keep this thing from feeling like it's gonna roll and herky-jerk all over the place, you can really lock it down. And when you put a stabilizer next to the tires, you absolutely isolate movement. Notice that little mini fireplace down below that's tucked in that corner, very easily missed. And did you see that little pass-through mini baggage door right there? The idea behind that is that if you have a full big side-by-side and you're having a hard time in those front corners reaching your tires to the tie downs, they're a tie down access point. And I thought that was brilliant. I've never seen anyone else do that. And the thing is, the more that I looked at these Wolfpacks now, the more that it occurred to me, whoever is really designing these actually goes camping and actually uses a toy hauler, because there's a lot of very flashy, fancier looking fifth wheel toy haulers, but if you look at things that actually work and function, these Wolfpacks are some of the single most functional fifth wheel toy haulers I think I've encountered in my career. And what I like about it is I'm the kind of guy that still works for a living. You know, I don't own the company, I work for the company. And I love that it still has a more subdued interior. It doesn't have this over-the-top motocross extreme kind of decor. It doesn't have this like massive, super expensive luxury decor where you're spending money on looks. But things like that, using a better shower head, the Oxygenic shower head, that's the #1 aftermarket replacement shower head used in the entirety of the RV industry. You get on Amazon, if you're buying it for RV purposes, that's the one that people buy. So why isn't it just on there from the factory? Why do you have to spend extra money after you buy it for function? I am really excited that manufacturers are finally starting to understand that we just need these things to work straight from the factory level. We shouldn't have to spend $2,000 in Amazon delivery boxes after the fact to get this thing to work. And overall, I am very encouraged by what I see here, and I'm curious to know what you think. So thank you once again for joining us on another one of these little fast compilation flybys right here. Once again, remember, I need to know which ones you want to see more of. There's a few floor plans that I personally like, but that doesn't mean those are the ones that you necessarily like. And that's what I want to do, is capture the footage that you want to see. It doesn't matter what I like, it matters what you like. I'll leave you some links in the description maybe to check what we have in stock at any given point, because maybe you're watching this video 6-8 months from now. Sometimes people do that. And again, from me to you, thanks for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button if you like what we're doing here and you want to see what's coming in full detailed view. And until next time, I'm going to go hydrate. It's hot. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.